My name is Johnny Fry. I'm CEO of a company called Team Blockchain. To give a bit of context as to why I'm involved in cryptocurrencies and tokens and ICOs, I actually set up an asset management business back in the 80s, literally from a bedroom. And I thought I was frightfully clever by going out and buying a TV with teletext. And the reason I did that was that it enabled me to keep up to date and see what was happening on the stock exchange with various different shares and stocks. And it was 15 minutes out of date, as opposed to going and buying the FT, which was obviously 24 hours a date, and it was, reading about yesterday's news today. So the sort of very, very simplistic and crude idea of managing money for sort of private clients, family, friends, and small companies really then evolved. And I then basically established a asset management business, which we then went on and floated the company on the London Stock Exchange and ran for over 20 years, having funds in places like Ireland, the Channel Islands, Canada, America, Luxembourg. So a variety of different funds. Some invested direct in equities, some invested into bonds, i.e. government IOUs, and a variety of sort of fund of funds, structured funds. So it was designed really for retail investors and small institutions. And having done that for over 20 years, I kind of lost the real drive to carry on and be involved in that sort of space and wanted a different challenge. So I got involved in some real companies, in a printing business, in a packaging business, in a technology company, a property company. And it was around about 2 years ago, started looking at the technology of blockchain and trying to sort of understand, well, where was it appropriate? How could it be used? And that led to the formation of Team Blockchain, which is really a company where we have consultants based all over the world that have various different experiences. So some have insurance, some have asset management, some have logistics, some have media. And we basically call on each other when a client comes along and says, I'm interested in, can you help me? And that's normally the opening of the conversation. And what we find is that there's a lot of people who are very evangelical about blockchain, and they think it's the, if you like, the cure that's going to solve all their problems and worries. However, that's not really true. Ultimately, what is blockchain? Blockchain is really an Excel spreadsheet whereby the information, rather than being held on one computer or one server, can actually be distributed and held literally on many, many different computers, or as they're called, nodes around the world. So we were happily advising companies and how to look at different types of blockchain, their uses, their limitations, because it's still relatively new technology, although it's been around since the 70s. And I often tell people that one of the first examples of a type of blockchain that most people are familiar with is the file sharing service Napster, which subsequently got closed down, but it was a highly successful global way to actually share with complete strangers informations, or as it was called, files of music, to enable people to be able to access different music, unfortunately though, without paying, which is hence it got shut down. So really, blockchain has really come to prominence really in the last 18 months, 2 years, because of something called Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself is now something, well, it's coming up this year, it's actually coming for its 10th anniversary. And Bitcoin was really, was invented as a result of the financial turbulence, the financial crisis that we had in 2008. And so what we actually saw was the ability to be able to swap a currency between people, and it was called a currency because people didn't want to rely on the banks, and they wanted to be able to trade a digital asset between themselves and in a way that couldn't be replicated or hacked. Because at the very essence of blockchain and very essence of this technology is military grade cryptographic security.